distractions with this team before. How confident are you? You feel like you guys can put this to the side and go out there and play the game you need to play on Sunday?
Yeah, I think we're in a good spot. Yesterday was a pretty normal day. You know what I mean? Went out practice on Wednesday, had a good Wednesday practice. Got to have a good Thursday practice. You know, we got to stack some days, but I think we're in a good spot as a team. You know, we got to go out there and find a win, and that's kind of our main goal is to go 1-0 this week and just find a way to win.
Joel, John Johnson just said that the majority of the locker room wants Odell back in the building. You know, how do you feel about that as one of the leaders of this team?
Yeah, you know, it's hard because I feel like we don't know what the situation is. You know what I mean? We think he's, you know, a great player when he's on the field. You know what I mean? But we don't know what the situation is. You know, we don't know what's really going on. You know, we probably know as much as you guys know from outside the building. But you know, if he wants to come back and be part of the team, you know, I'm sure we'd welcome him with open arms.
How does it make you feel that you don't know what's going on?
It's part of it, man. We're trying to go 1-0 this week, so you know, it's kind of a need to know basis, and you know, I don't think the guys in the locker room need to know exactly what's going on. I think they're still trying to figure it out, and so I think once they figure it out, then we'll get a no.
But don't players pick sides in something like this, Joel?
I don't think so. I think, you know, you build relationships with people on the team, and you care about people that you play football with. But from a professional perspective, you have to come out there and you have to perform at your best every week. And I think that's a mindset of the majority of the team is like, whoever's out on the field with us, we have to do our best and we have to play our best each and every week.
This is such a fragile point of the season right now. Everything that you want to accomplish is still in front of you, but your margin of error to accomplish it is pretty razor thin right now. And then this comes along. How do you prevent this from spiraling things out of control or dividing a locker room?
Yeah, I think we're focused on trying to win this week. You know, Cincinnati's been playing good football. They're, you know, up there in the division, and we got to find a way to win this game. And I think, you know, the guys that are going to be out on the field are ready to, you know, try and win. Like, we know we have a big challenge up ahead, and I think when Sunday comes around, like, we're going to be focused on playing that game.
Joel, Baker's obviously in the middle of this. And he said yesterday he talked to Jarvis about it because Jarvis is close to Odell, and he said he's willing to talk to anybody in the locker room. How do you think he's suited from a personality leadership standpoint to kind of handle this difficult situation when he's right in the middle of it?
Yeah, I think he's great. You know, he's a back against the wall guy anyway. Like that's who he is, and you know, I think his personality is you know, focused on what's at hand, and he understands like we have a game to play, and like yes, it's a story, and yes, you know, it's out there, but for us, like when you go out on a field, like you're playing a game. There's injuries that happen. There's suspensions. There's things that happen in football, and as long as you play, like you have to go out there and play. Like no one cares who's out on the field or not. And I think from a team perspective, that's, you know, obviously you can talk about it, you can figure things out, and I think, you know, Andrew Barry and Coach Stefanski and Odell are figuring that out. But for us, it's like we got to go out there and play with the guys we have, and that's kind of the mindset we're taking.
So Odell's camp has made it pretty clear how they feel about Baker and how that's played into the season Odell is having. You know, given how popular Odell is in there, how many of those guys look up to him, does this have the potential to change the way some guys view Baker going forward?
I don't think so. I think it's a personal question to each guy, but you know, I think it's such a business in the NFL, and obviously like everybody in this business is a super competitive person, and they want to, you know, play to their best of their ability, and so when things don't go your way, sometimes like feelings get hurt, and that's really, you know, a tough part of the NFL business. But I think Baker carries himself and the way he handles himself on and off the field. You know, from my perspective, I don't think that opinion changes.
Have you seen like a single incident between Baker and Odell that would like pretend what happened this week?
No.
Joel, you talked about losing guys to like injuries and stuff like that, but this is kind of Odell's choice in a way to leave. Like, does that anger you? Like any little sense of like abandonment that a guy that you were playing with just said, I don't want to do it anymore?
Well, I don't really know the situation yet. Like I said, I'm not sure what's going on, you know, in that perspective. But again, it's a business, and it's his decision, and we're going to play with the 53 guys we got out there, and the 46 guys or 48 now that get a dress on game day, and I just have all the confidence in the world in our coaching staff, our front office, to make the best decisions for our team, and that's what we're trying to do go forward. And like I said, Coach Stefanski's preached all week. You know, We're trying to go 1-0. It's a big game.
I asked John this, but as a leader yourself too, do you feel like you need to talk to guys, or is it just everybody knows the situation, we got to get to work, or do the vets need to feel like they have to stand up and say something?
Kind of like Baker said, if guys want to talk, like, I think talking is good. You don't want to hold things back. If you have opinions or understanding, the matter, like yeah, go ahead and talk. But, until someone has a question or brings it up, we're just really trying to focus on, winning this week.
So Stefanski said yesterday that he did talk to the leadership council about this.
That he what?
He talked to the leadership council of the team about the Odell situation. And I'm wondering, do you understand why he's excused from practice?
No. He talked to the team and he said, he told us what was going on, and just from a big point of view, and then we went out and practiced. Like that was kind of it. But we don't have every intimate detail.
Baker Mayfield said that this kind of thing could either be, you could use it as a divisive thing, or it could be a rally cry. Have you felt that there's been a rally cry? Have you felt that within the team so far in the past couple days?
I thought we had a good practice yesterday. I don't know if it's like a rally cry moment, but our season's kind of on the brink, like you guys talked about. Like, we got to win some games here. We got to put some games together, and that's really our goal this week. I don't think anybody's rallying or anything like that. We're just really focused on being our best on Sunday.
Football question for you. You do have a game Sunday.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's defense is vastly improved, and what it's been, just what are they doing so well on that side of the ball that has made them as good as they?
Yeah, they brought in some good players. Trey Hendrickson's kind of leading the team in sacks, and Larry's over there playing kind of a new position for him. He was a nose guard more here, and he's kind of playing out in the 4-eye, 3-5 technique area. But they play really hard. They have good players, and then they play hard together, and they're kind of packing everything in. They've stopped the run pretty well this year, but everybody there's kind of bought into their assignment and doing their job, and they kind of feed off each other.
Has Larry looked like, it's almost like he had such a big game against the Ravens, like it's almost like he's freed up to do what he does best, kind of?
No, he's playing. I think they have him in a good position, and he's playing a very big role for them. He's on pass rush downs. On third down, he's kind of one of their premier inside pass rushers, and he's done a lot of things. But they have those two edge guys, Henderson and Hubbard, that kind of opened up for the inside guys to make plays. But no, Larry's looked really solid on film, and he's definitely a guy we have our eye on this week.
Kevin said yesterday you guys need to approach this game like your lives depend on it. I don't think I've ever heard him say that like us publicly. Are you getting that sense from him and the staff?
Yeah, it's very important. It's a division game. We're 4-4, and we want to go 1-0 this week. And going down the stretch, like in the AFC, I think there's a lot of tight records and tight teams, and we got a half season to play. Everything in front of us, but it gets down to only single-digit games left, and you gotta start winning some of these.
Joe, when you guys are in those offensive meetings, you've been able to identify what isn't. I know you're not the thrower or the receiver, but what's going on with the passing game and why it hasn't been as explosive as it needs to be.
Yeah, I don't have the passing game chart down and where all the routes are supposed to go and when the ball's supposed to come out. We try and do our job as an O-line, but I think it comes down to really everybody executing. It's not just receivers or tight ends or quarterbacks or running backs. Sometimes there's guys open and the O-line doesn't hold up for a play, so it's kind of everybody's just the perfect storm of picking and choosing who has a bad play for that, and we just got to figure out a way to make sure we're all on the same page and have 11 guys, knowing exactly what we're doing.
When you guys go from a guy like Jack, who's all pro, to Blake, who's played well for you but doesn't have that much experience playing right tackle in this league, do you have to change a lot of the protection stuff to help him out?
I think you look at each matchup, you know what I mean? When you're playing against a Joey Bosa and a TJ Watt, you're probably helping that anyway. You want to have guys over there chipping and sliding that way, regardless, because those are some of the best guys in the league, and they have some good DNs too. But I think it goes into it. We don't specifically have a new plan because Blake's in there, but he's, the gauntlet of pass rushers he's had to go against, it's been an experience for him, and he's not really a tackle per se anyway, you know what I mean? So it's been pretty cool to see that guy step up, but he's ready for the challenge, and he works so hard in practice to try and develop and do those things. But there's not a drastic game plan change where we're like, all right, this is what we need to do.